Hello, everybody. My name is Thomas Faher, and today we're going to discuss my action research thesis project that I did this whole school year from by Molloy University. So the topic I decided to study was online math applications impacting student homework success. So in this study, I teach 11th grade geometry for the New York City Department of Education, and the topic we're going to discuss is the use of ed puzzles. Is that going to help students or prevent students from succeeding more in homework progress? To the topic of problem solving at hand, let's start and begin there. This action research explores how using Edpuzzle, an interactive online math application, impacts student success with homework in an 11th grade geometry classroom. The focus is on students learning the concept of similarity, which can often be a difficult topic in geometry, especially with students with IEPs. These students frequently struggle with attention, abstract reasoning, retention, making it necessary to use the technology that can support their specific learning needs. So we're going to discuss with my students who have IEPs in my classroom of this study, will this software be useful or will they struggle with it? Let's find out. So as I just stated, the population of my classroom, I chose 25 students for this study and they all have IEPs, as you see in that pie chart right there, 100%. So the main research questions that I decided to analyze deeply in this study is how does the use of interactive online math applications such as Edpuzzles in 11th grade geometry homework affect students' understanding of similarity specifically, as measured by quiz scores and homework completion over a 4-week period, about a month, give or take? And some sub-questions that go along with my main research question include what specific features of motivating math software are most utilized by students when interpreting similarity? Can they see the shapes on their computers? Can they identify certain features? Number two, how do quiz scores on similarity before and after the 4-week period of a sample size compare for students using interactive math software versus those using traditional methods, which is where students prefer to use pen and paper and try to work out problems and study using pen and pencil. Number three, what is the impact that students experience when using interactive math software for their homework? Will this help them with their homework or make them more confused? Number four, how does the integration of engaging math software in homework affect students' attitudes towards learning geometry and their engagement levels? So, as stated, similarity specifically, but geometry as a whole can be a struggle for most math students, let alone students with IEPs. Will this software make them feel more confident, or can they feel more discouraged if they have a hard time understanding how the softwares work online virtually? So, outside of my research and study, I also did some literature review analysis and outside research that supported my own research claims that online learning tools like Edpuzzle can improve student performance, especially in mathematics. These tools offer scaffolded learning, which aligns with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development and boosts self-efficiency, a key concept also in Bandura's social learning theory. Studies show that interactive features, real-time feedback, and personalization increase student motivation and homework completion. So it shows that it works for the positive, that it actually helps students want to learn more efficiently. Throughout my study, I've had a few moments that were caught me by surprise and that were also challenges and obstacles. And that can include that attendance was low for some of the classes that I taught. In my school, attendance can be an issue, give or take. Some students have a hard time showing up to school in my classroom. So that did impact my study results, where, as you can see, about 10% did not participate at all due to frequent absences. Still, overall engagement was higher than expected for a fully IEP designed classroom, showing that the tool had a strong positive influence. So even though attendance was a bit of an obstacle, it still showed tremendous improvement with using Edpuzzle. When it comes to the rationale, many students with IEPs have difficulty engaging with traditional math instruction, as I stated before. Edpuzzle offers an accessible and flexible alternative, providing embedded questions, pause and replay features, and visual supports. These features align with theories of scaffolded learning and student motivation, making it a promising tool to help students with learning disabilities succeed in math. So, as you can see in that little image there, there's a scale, balance scale, online learning versus traditional learning. Which will students prefer? So, the methodology I carried out in this study for my actual research project conducted over 4 weeks, students completed weekly Edpuzzle lessons and quizzes focused on similarity concepts. So when we did the unit on similarity for triangles, I focused on students having one ed puzzle a week, as well as having quizzes to see if they had improving progress or we needed to work on a few more things. Surveys on motivation and engagement were also administered by myself before and after the intervention, while the teacher, myself, had observation logs throughout. So as the students were working on their ed puzzles, I facilitated the classroom and wrote notes as students were working. So as this methodology was carried out, some findings that I found were very interesting. As it says, results showed that 68% of students, so about two-thirds of my student sample size, completed their ed puzzle lessons and 72% completed quizzes, which is a big improvement. In addition to about 60% of students demonstrated active engagement and 80% completed both pre and post surveys. So before the activity of ed puzzles and quizzes were distributed, there was a survey before the activity and after to see how students felt before and after the assessment was over. And 80% of the student body completed that. These numbers suggested that ed puzzles helped increase student accountability, motivation, and access to learning, especially for students who normally struggle with traditional formats. So overall, how my understanding changed. Throughout this action research project, I saw how technology can level the playing field for students with disabilities. Ed Puzzles wasn't just an add-on, it became an essential part of how students accessed and understood geometry as a whole. I now view action research as a powerful tool to reflect, adapt, and improve teaching in a real based on student needs. So overall, as I did my action research project, not just this semester, but for the whole school year, I should say, um, I found it very effective, not just for the students, how to meet their needs, but also as myself, as a first year teacher, which I am. Research is essential. As a teacher, that's my first year. I'm still looking for ways to grow and improve, and research can go infinite ways. There's no right or wrong. There's no perfect way to teach, and that's what's great about this profession is you learn new ways to develop and grow your craft as the school year, but as your profession goes on. Um, so overall, this is my action research thesis project. I hope everybody enjoyed this and can definitely take and learn something from this. Thank you very much.